Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Motorsport Manager, the Underdog Challenge. Today we are starting Season 4 finally after having promoted last season with a great race at the end there where the AI made some very weird choices. Hopefully they start being a bit smarter now also in the Asia Pacific Supercup because that's where we're going. Yeah, we finished first. We also got the driver championship, so very nice there. And now we have a lot of choices to make while preparing for Season 4. First of all, an interview. We're fighting at the front. Any thoughts about giving team orders? No, they are cowardly. I want my drivers to race. Yeah, we had one pit stop mistake. That was a shame. Tulipano, meanwhile, is the reigning European Racing Series champion. That's a nice little buff there for 50 weeks, basically the entire next season. And the pit blunder, Hans Wolfski's win to Tulipano. Apparently, Steve Fallback refused to answer questions on the team's error, skulking away from any interview which raised the subject. All right, well, that's the thing. And yeah, indeed, Scarlett Moore, our lead designer, is actually going to probably leave the team. She's not that good, and she also doesn't really have the stats that I'm looking for the next season. And I already have someone in mind, but first we need to actually promote, otherwise those people will not want to join us. So let's do that. First of all, prize money, very important. That's a cool 14 million we get for actually promoting. That brings our balance now up to 28.5 million. But of course, we still also need to make our next year's car. Manager of the season is us, which is, yeah, pretty normal considering we won the whole thing despite, well, we were supposed to finish in 7th. Would we like to make the step up to the Asia Pacific Supercup? Yes, we do. The land of milk and honey awaits. Well, I'm not so sure about that because I don't think the cup will be that easy. I think you can absolutely make the choice to reject this for one time and make it a lot easier for yourself in the future financially. I'm not going to do that because I'd like to show you guys the new cup and yeah, go in with a bit of a hard time, let's say. But yeah, I think you can easily make that choice, earn a lot more money, build the car factory, which earns you, 1.4 million, and then go in the Asia Pacific Super Cup with a lot more confidence and financial backing, let's say. But that's okay. Yeah, we go up. Zampelli Engineering drops down. From now on, we should also be able to get some people. First of all, someone suggested to me a nice reserve driver that we can get. So Leo Huang. I'm sorry if I butchered your name there. I hope I said it okay. He actually gave us a nice recommendation in the form of Farah, who I need to look up. Who will be our new reserve driver? Should be somewhere around here, I assume. There you are. Leonzino Farah. Let's star you. And you should want to sign with us now that we went to the Asia Pacific. He wouldn't have otherwise, I think. And you do want a pretty hefty fee, I think. You want a medium contract. You don't mind who pays the buyout clause, so that's just going to be you then, basically. You're signing on fee. You want a nice one, so let's do something like this. Yeah. When they say I want a nice, they basically want the max or something close to it. I guess we'll give you a bonus just because we're probably not going to make that anyway. Let's do something like this. You don't even care for it, so let's do that. This you do care for, so let's make that a little bit higher. Again, we're not going to hit these bonuses often, so I don't mind giving it to him. And this should probably be fine. We have a lot of patience to play with. We're not in a rush, but yeah, it's something that I don't mind so much. Now, why are we getting Farah, actually? That's important to elaborate on. As Leo told me, he has a high feedback stat, which is 16. Very nice. Makes him perfect as a reserve driver. On top of, but that's not really putting him aside from Dior. Axel here also has 15. It's not exactly groundbreaking. The main thing why we're getting Farah here is because he is actually a pay driver. And as you can see, the pay driver trait also goes up when you promote. This isn't just that he's a more expensive pay driver or anything. We are now earning 500,000 per race that he is involved in. And 50% if he takes part in the practice only, which, well, that's going to be the case for Farah. He's not a good driver. But that's going to earn us basically 250,000 per race. Yeah, so going to be earning 250,000 per race over 11 races. That's about 2.5 million to 3 million, which saves us a lot of money, especially considering he's not a lot more expensive than what Dior is costing us anyway. All right. So that's the first part. Then we also have to get a new lead designer because, as you can see, Scarlett Moore here is going to be running out her contract. For that, I also have someone in mind already who is, well, not very expensive at all. This guy, Houston Woods. I've looked at a lot of designers, basically all of them in the list. Most of the really good ones that I would love to have are not going to sign for us. They don't want to be in a Asian Pacific Supercup team. There's a few other options, but they don't have the engine stat I want. This guy has a very good engine stat. The other stats aren't worth bragging about, let's say. His components are also not great, but he is very cheap. If you have any other designers that you know will sign for us in the Asia Pacific Supercup, please let me know. Because, yeah, it is. It would be good to have a better designer than this guy, but he is better basically than what we have now. And he has the stats in the better places. You don't mind who pays the buyout clause. That means you will do it. You don't care much about a signing on fee. So honestly, why even give you none? Yeah, you don't care about any of this. You just want some decent wages. So I don't want to give you a long contract. We'll give you a little bit more wage, but a medium one. And we'll give you some low bonus. No. Honestly, if you don't care, you don't care. You're not getting one. All right. So we'll be going for this because, yeah, it's just a cheap option to at least have a good lead designer in terms of the engine. The engine is going to be the main part that we're going to be focusing on next season because it is the most important part. It does the most for the speed of your car. All right. A lot of gossip about drivers and people going to different teams. Not really something we care about. Houston immediately wanted to sign for us. Perfect. It's gonna cost us 60,000. I could have waited a month because it's not like she's going anywhere, but that's fine. I'll take the financial hit. That's a little bit of a mistake on my part. Cool. We also have some sponsors in our fixed payment slot. Those should be good, but aren't. None of them are 5 stars. They're all pretty bad, to be honest. Last episode I explained how these can show up again. It's a cooldown period of 117 days for a 5-star sponsor contract. For example, the Zygon one that we had of 1.2 million. That 117 days probably isn't up for that one. I hope that it'll show up again if we don't take any of these. In 2 races, this slot, for example, will expire. I hope we can get a 5-star one in that. Out of all of these, I would take the Hypertech one, because it's the best out of these 3. But if we take it, let's say we earn ourselves 750,000 on average per the first 2 races that we are not going to be running anything in if we don't take it. And I think we're not going to take it. Because if we, for example, gamble and we take one that has 700,000 and a bigger upfront payment, or we get one that's 1.2 million, like the Zygon one, then you earn that back so quickly. So it's not like we need the money right away anyway, so we're not going to take these offers. It's a bit of a gamble, but we have the money to try and make the gamble work. And if it doesn't, at least it will have been interesting to show to you guys. All right, preseason of the Asia Pacific. And there you go. Whoops. There you go. Car design. We get another 5 million for what we saved up for this car. Now, we could be going for all these expensive options and try and get this output as high as we can. We're not going to. I know this one would be nice to have the base stat modifier be higher. Honestly, it would all be very nice, but we don't care about our performance this season. As long as we stay up in the Asia Pacific, then we're fine. We don't particularly care. If I put all of them up, we're going to be spending like crazy amounts of money, as you can see. That right there is 31 million if we put everything on the highest. That would basically mean we spend all our money. We could go for a middle of the pack region, but still, that would be still an insane amount of money. We cannot justify that. We have to work on our parts. We have to get our car into fighting shape this season. That means building like crazy. So we're going to be building the cheapest car we basically can. Means it's going to be pretty bad at actually, well, fighting. But yeah, I think it has to be that way. Otherwise, otherwise we'll be spending way too much money. You want a little bit more wages or bonus size? Let's offer you a bit more bonus size. Did these reset? I don't think I set these to 10th. But okay. Give you a bit more like this. Honestly, we're not going to get third often, so give you a big bonus, it's fine. We have to kind of try and coax him into taking this deal because he doesn't want to be a reserve driver, and obviously we're making him one. But yes, this time he accepts it. All right, that means we're going to sign the deal. Replace Axel. Yeah, it's going to cost a little bit of money, but like I said, with 250,000 earned per race, and his salary isn't that much higher either, we'll be making that money back in no time. And he actually has a little bit of a better feedback stat by 1 point either way. So, sorry, Axel, you've been good for us in the few races that we let you race, but yeah, someone better just came around the block and we can earn a little bit more money. And that is, in the end, what running this team is all about. Early on, just trying to make as much money as possible. I've made a little bit of a calculation. I think we need about 14 million in total for all the parts I want to be upgrading. A little bit more maybe if we were to upgrade our test track, but that would probably cost something like 14 million just on its own, so I'm not sure we're gonna do that. Event popped up, improvability gains. We would have less fuel efficiency and more improvability. And I think I'm willing to take that, because anyway our tires are so bad that we're probably not going to be running out of fuel that quick anyway. It's a bit of a gamble, but it does make it so that we can upgrade our car quicker. And like I said, we're just going to be in survival mode next season anyway. I think I'm fine with that. Yeah. That seems okay. Brake supplier breakthrough. Alright, what is that? That probably means we're going to have a trade-off or something. Nothing of this is interesting. You're a cycling racer, very good for you, Tulipano. We can pay 2.5 million and get some better tire heating. Normally I would take that in a heartbeat, but again, with our car just being kind of crap anyway, do we need it? I'm not sure I'm willing to invest that much of our money just for the tire heating. It might make our season a little bit easier because we would be better able to deal with heat or cold. 2.5 million. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. I think we're gonna say no. Normally I would always take this if we're actually in a competing season, but it's not like our... If it was tire wear, I'd probably take it. If tire heating, I think we'll just have to play around that. Sorry, too expensive. Yeah, we're really in survival mode anyway. We might as well make it a little bit tougher on ourselves and keep more money in the back. All right. Keep going. And the livery edit. Yeah, I like the way our car looks, nice and pink. Sort of our car's color. Make it a little bit darker, maybe. Let's see. A little bit darker. A little bit more sexy. Alright, that looks fine. I'm not good at this stuff, so I tend to just leave it as is every season. Predator Racing Group, as always, a nice little icon. And yeah, our car should be almost done. Very good. A unique opportunity. I think that's the one with team marketability. Yes, it is. Normally, always take this one. We've had it a few times now. Chairman happiness doesn't matter that much, and your team marketability would be great. We're not taking it because we are already at 100%, so there's no reason for us to do so, but if you get this one early on, always take it. It's very nice. Leonzo Farah having an affair. Having secret affair, -2 focus. Okay. Well, you're not going to be racing anyway, so it's not like it matters, but probably shouldn't be doing that, Farah. Already bringing drama to this team that we don't need. All right, then let's start doing our preseason testing. How good is our car as opposed to the other ones? Well, we're setting some decent times on the board. Not great, obviously, but we weren't expecting that anyway. 10th and 18th so far, 9th. 8th. 8th and 18th. Okay, well, one of you didn't do so well, but the other did. Probably, we won't have a car that's good. We'll probably be almost in last, if not in last, depending on... Yeah, there you go. We are in last in terms of car. Our drivers are in 7th, so that's not too bad. Our headquarters is in 2nd, our staff in 2nd, our sponsors in 2nd, and our pit crew in 4th. Not too bad. What are our targets then? They actually want us to get 7th, so that is not easy, but we'll try it. I'm not going to go for 5th because that's a little bit too hard and I don't want to upset the chairman or lose too much driver morale. 7th, let's try it. We might as well. All right, so now that the new season has started, there are some things to immediately look at. First of all, we have the Singapore race where it looks like it might rain during qualifying in the race. Second of all, there is the rules for next season. First of all, we should have a look at our current rules. Like I said, we looked at it previously. There's no spec parts. There's semi-sequential pit stops, so that impacts how we deal with our cars. There is 31 lap races on average, so that's a bit longer than we are used to. There is qualifying sessions now. Those are interesting. That's a new little minigame that I don't like, but I'll show it off to you guys anyway. But I'll probably automate most of it. High merit payments, that's not too great for us, but as 11101 pointed out in the comments, it's also pretty bad for the other low teams. Unfortunately, we do want to compete with the better teams, so yeah, I don't know. I don't mind this, but I would have rather had it be on medium, let's say. Points for the top 6, that's a very important one. Means no one is earning points besides the top 6 drivers. As you can see, 10, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's quite hard for us then to score some points. That's why we're in survival mode. We have to basically nick points off of the AI or the other teams during the first few races of the season or during races where it's raining, where we tend to do better strategically. Yeah, just to survive and not finish 10th, because if we finish 10th, we'll probably get demoted again to the European Racing Series. That is not something we want, of course. There's bonus points for the fastest lap and the pole position. Fastest lap we could try to go for, but with our car that's very unlikely. Same for pole position, to be honest. So these are also not very good for us. We can choose only 12 tires to bring. There's a virtual safety car instead of a physical one. If we see it, I'll explain what that means. But basically, it makes pitting under the safety car a little bit less good. It's still good, but not as good. Driver aids are allowed. That means the impact of driver skill is less. I don't mind that so much because our drivers are apparently 7th instead of up there. Yeah, qualifiers, of course. And yeah, the main thing is, of course, the lack of spec parts. So let's have a look at what will then be voted in. Oh, can I actually look? Yeah, there you go. Addition of the black CGP, that doesn't matter so much for us. Energy recovery systems, that's quite interesting. Qualifying base grids with 3 sessions. I already don't like 1 session, so maybe don't do that. 27 laps races on average. I don't mind that either. Okay, so no spec parts are going to be voted on unless we bring it in ourselves. We will be doing that. That means we will not be voting on any of these probably. I like the energy recovery systems. It's a fun little mini game during the race. But oh, nope, stop. We of course have to do some things with our car. But yeah, we'll have to see. As you can see, all our parts are pretty much bottom of the barrel, either in 10th, 8th, 9th. Yeah, all of them are bad, basically. You can see that probably here. All of these values are just pretty bad. We're going to be working on our reliability pretty much exclusively for the start of the race. Emilia will be doing that. And we'll be working on the engines and the gearboxes. Why are we doing that? Because all these other parts are a lot easier to repair. I think it goes in the order of engine takes the longest, then the gearbox, then the back wing, then the brake, then the suspension, and then the front wing. So yeah, we're going to be focusing most on these two, and then afterwards we'll start focusing on the other parts and bringing them up to speed. Meanwhile, we're also going to be working on an engine. And what do we get in terms of parts? This one is pretty good to start off with. This one is also really good. Okay, so since we're going to be able to build up to great parts at the start, we're probably going to make one engine that's legal and 2 engines that are illegal. And that's what we'll be taking into next year's season. We could do 1 or 2 legal ones, but there isn't really anything else good here. So let's start working immediately on the engines. That's the most important part. And yeah, we'll see. Meanwhile, also our test track is now done. You can see our car racing around on it. I love having the test track. It makes our entire HQ look so much more professional. And it's just fun having a car racing around. That's very nice. That means we can now build better engines, which is very important. All right, report on the upcoming race. Let's have a look at how our car reliability is going as well. Singapore, 35% chance of rain, 33 laps. Okay, that should be fine. We don't have a wind tunnel, which people are annoyed about. Yeah, well, we're probably gonna vote out either the back or the front wing, one of the two. We don't have the HQ buildings for either of them to improve them a lot. I don't want to focus on them. We're just gonna be focusing on the other ones, and we'll be voting out both of the wings in this season and then next season. All right. Engine is going up decently. Same for the gearbox. We'll probably end somewhere in the 70% range, which should be enough to run out the race unless we get really unlucky with how much it goes down. So yeah, let's get into it. Oh yeah, important. Now the objectives for these sponsors are shared between qualifying and race. That means you get half for each. We're probably gonna try and go for Aikini. If there's ever a chance to still get this one, it will be now. 7th is a lot more attainable, but let's take a little gamble. Probably bring 7 sets of super softs, maybe even 8. Yeah, probably 8. And only 4 softs. I don't think we'll be running softs too much. Heavy rain, and clear. So yeah, let's focus on getting super softs in because those are more versatile when it's raining. Let's see. All right. What did we get our parts to in the end? 74% and 73. Okay. Should be good enough, but we won't be able to run our engines on too much of a high engine mode. We'll save that for the end of the race. Let's get into Singapore, a city track that we've never raced before. Quite like this one, but it also obstructs your vision quite a bit. But it's a nice change of pace from all the nature-oriented ones like in Belgium or in Germany or anywhere else. Quite nice. Also a little bit of the sea again. They tend to really like actually racing next to the sea, I think. Let's do our practice as always. And I'm sorry, by the way, if I'm going a bit quick, but I am on a bit of a time crunch. Because I do have to leave in about half an hour, so I'm running this episode a little bit quicker than I would normally like to. But yeah, sometimes it can't be helped if I want to have this episode out by tonight. Yeah, that's good. Alright, let's practice on the super softs as always. And let's send our guys out. One more important thing actually is the stint. You cannot choose between qualifying practice or race trim practice. We're going to do the race trim. We're not going to do well in qualifying anyway. Let's get that to tier 3 first. And then if we can get... what am I doing? It was already fine where I put it. If we get any time left over, we'll train on the qualifying as well. But first, focus on the race. That's the most important part. Send them out, bring them back in. See where that gets us. Not much, because this was a horrible first practice. 62%, but we do sort of know where we need to be. Something like this. You're also at 4, so something like that. Should be okay, and you're already at okay, so let's try something like that. Yeah. Alright, send you back out. And you're at excellent on the top one, that's nice. That means we don't have to change that one. You're good on this, but you're very poor on this one. So let's bring you somewhere all the way here, because this low like, even though these two are good, we're still only at 66%. That means this one is far off the mark. Do something like that. All right. One more time in and out. Let's see what that did for us. And you are now perfect to go out for longer. Send you out for like 8 laps or something. Go ahead and have fun. And same for you, to be honest. If you're in the 90% you are, then I'm happy. Let's send you out, get as much practice time as we can. And put you out on times 12. Alright. Yeah, so as you can see, these practice sessions are now way longer. Normally we'd already be halfway in by now. Instead now we're, well, still having to do 8 more minutes. But that also gives us, on the plus side, a little bit more time to get all this knowledge built up. Maybe at level 3 soon-ish. That might mean we do 1 stint on the softs, let's say. Try and get some practice in on that. And we can then also practice the... Yeah, bring you in. That means we can also practice the qualifying now. So let's send you out on qualifying and just regular softs. We could try and practice on one of these, but it's not the right weather for it anyway. And we're not sure it's even going to rain. Even though it did say heavy rain, so let's see. We'll use one of our softs. We have 3 more. That should be more than fine. Let's send them out. I'm not sure we're even going to get... Well, we should be getting level 1 in each of these, I guess. I don't think the softs will do much with, but the qualifying trim we'll probably use. I don't think we have any other options. Yeah, final minute. That's fine. They're gonna come in, I don't mind. They're not gonna get level 2 either way. Alright, not bad. Yeah, now we go into the qualifying minigame. That one, honestly, I don't like it. I'll show you why in a second. Looks like there's no water. One of you did say, gave me some good advice on the qualifying. I'll be picking these two, by the way. If it's raining, you can actually sort of go out on the slicks. Maybe if it dries up for a second, you know, like 1 or 2 laps, and then go back in again quick. And you can actually get set way better times than the AI can. The thing is, obviously it needs to rain for that to happen. But I'll keep a lookout for that. That's a great tip. We could do a lot better than we're probably gonna do now. But for now, let's just run it the way I normally do. And that is that I just set this to automatic. And this to automatic. Now you basically, the game is to sort of drag these bars up and down, and then this goes up, but this one is more sensitive than the tire temperature one, etc. So you have to kind of play with it. Basically the computer is better than me at this minigame. I could try and practice it, I suppose, but I don't want to. I don't like the minigame, so I generally just let the AI handle it for me, and usually it works out pretty well, to be honest. The AI doesn't do too bad. As you could see, they get it near the good or perfect, and that's fine by me, to be honest. We'll probably do another run on some fresh super softs. Yeah, we have a lot of them. Let's send them out one more time, see if they can improve their lap times, get a better spot. But again, I'm just gonna let the AI do its thing, because I'm not that good at it. And I also just don't like doing it much. Yeah, this one wasn't so close for either one, but let's see what they can get. Oh, looks like it's actually gonna rain. That means this lap is gonna be horrible. Yeah, not like it matters much. But I'm not gonna send them out on inters because they're not gonna get better lap times anyway. So let's just keep them in. Volsky in 9th. That's very good for the car that he's in, honestly. No one is improving, as you can see, because inters are just inherently lower than super soft. No point in sending our drivers out just to get another crappy time and use up an inter tire set. Not that it'll matter too much, but yeah. Alright, good on you, Volsky. Tulipano, you're doing more in line with what I expected, to be honest. But yeah. one of them is already very nice to get up to that level. All right, let's have a look then. Looks like no rain, at least for the first stint. It did say heavy rain, but doesn't look like that'll happen right now. Wolfsky will give you these two. Tulipano, we could be giving you the light-footed for super soft tires. That means they wear about 20% more slowly. Risk Taker is also very interesting, to be honest. But I think I just want the performance gain. We could try for the super soft one. And Risk Taker is also very interesting, don't get me wrong, but how long are you gonna make these last? About 8 laps in a 33 lap session. That means either way we're gonna stop quite a few times, and I'm okay with that because our tire heat is gonna go up like crazy. Our parts are gonna be very dodgy. We're gonna need to repair them quite often, so I want to do more stops anyway. So yeah, we're gonna just try to do a 3-stopper with super soft. Quite often repair our parts. I think most of the AI will do the same. We could try and make it work, do it a little bit differently, but I think this is okay. I don't want to even push the tires too hard because this is a very, very hot day. Well, 25 degrees. Let's be a little bit aggressive, I suppose. Give you a bit of a fighting chance. Volsky doesn't come off the line too well, but keeps his spot. Actually, oh, you didn't crash that? You were looking like you were going to go straight into the wall. Okay. Interesting. Tulipano, meanwhile, is still stuck in 19th. Let's take your tires back immediately, to be honest. Actually, let's do this immediately. And yeah, I don't trust these engines, that's why. At 70%, it can be quite tricky to get them to last till the end of the race, especially with the way that, yeah, the race is quite long. I don't want to run it on red for too long. You're still fighting a bit. I think we are going to take it back to something like orange. I don't care about the fuel differential this time because we are setting our drivers up on super soft. Those super softs are not going to be able to last more than 8 to 9 laps, which also means that I don't particularly care about having the fuel differential. So we're just going to put them on orange. Orange also makes them not lose the engine mode too quickly. I do want you to wear through your tires a little bit more harshly, let's say, than Lepano. Let's maybe conserve yours a little and put yours on yellow. Not too warm yet, so that's saving us a little bit in terms of heat, I think. I would love to do 8 and 9, but I think the way I just made Volhovsky turn through his tires, that's probably not going to happen. That means we're going to do 7 and 8. You should be able to do 7 more if we... Sorry, 6 more. Yeah, you should be able to do about 6 more, and we might need to conserve a little bit. You need to do 7 more, I think. No, that would put you at 9, actually. You need to do 6 more, and you need to do 5 more. That should be doable like this. Yeah, okay. That's fine. So let's put it to quick for a little bit. Speed is going up. We'll go to the next finish line and then we'll have a quick look at how this is going. Yeah, you can see the tire temperature is just going up a little bit too much. Let's put you to neutral now as well. Everyone is holding their spot pretty decently, which I honestly didn't expect the way our cars are. But I'll take it. Looks like no rain still. Temperature not going up too much. Alright, we are now in lap 5. Means we've done 4. Ideally, I want to do 4 more with Volhovsky. But realistically, you're only going to do 3 more before you hit your cliff. So let's do 3 with you, 4 with you. That should be perfectly fine. We can run them a little bit. Maybe run you for a little bit more on green. Just so we bring our temperature down a little bit. Now we'll bring you back up. Alright. Yeah, we could put their engine... We could give them a little bit more engine mode. But again, I don't want to... These engines are close to breaking and we don't want to repair them. That invalidates our entire strategy of not having to fix expensive parts time-wise. So we're gonna keep it the way it is for now. You need to do 2 more laps before you hit your cliff. Since we're gonna be pitting during lap 8. Perfectly fine. And you 3 more, that should also be okay. Alright. Looks like some people are already pitting now. So you've gone through your tires a little bit too quickly, to be honest, because 6. That means you're going to be running on softs at some point during the race. We might do the same depending on how our race goes. Maybe for the last stint we'll have to go on softs. That's fine, then we can run them a little bit more aggressively. You need to bring this down a little. Because at 15% we're going to hit the cliff. Don't want that, of course. You need to also start conserving a little bit. If we pit you now, which we have to, of course, how are we going to look? Okay, let's burn fuel a little bit more aggressively then. Get the roundup bonus as always. Not much of a... Actually, the other way around then, sorry. Means we put you to medium. Yes, and then we get the roundup bonus. No part is looking like it needs fixing yet. We could do this one, for example. It takes 5 seconds. There's a chance that we'll make a mistake during it, but since we're running you mainly on orange, what are we gonna do with these parts? Honestly, only 6%. It's not really worth it, so let's not overfuel. We'll fuel 2 extra laps, I think. That'll give us 9. Maybe it'll give us 3 for fueling 2. That means we can run another 8 laps basically with Volksky on orange mode. That's fine. We have a very quick pit stop. That's good. Let's bring him in. He should be perfectly fine. Let's bring you back to this. Alright. And you should also be able to run out your last lap now on yellow, I think. I hope. Looks like no one is fixing parts yet. We're not doing it either. We timed the tire pretty much perfectly. And we have a very quick pit stop compared to everyone else. Very good. Alright, let's start burning fuel again, and we keep your tire on medium. You need to conserve your tire a little bit. Alright, we're also setting up your pit stop. I'm gonna give you red overtake mode, just because I want that roundup bonus. Nope, that doesn't give you a roundup bonus at all. Let's take you down. Make the same mistake twice in a row. Yeah, there you go. Same thing for you, I think. We're gonna give you 9 laps worth of fuel. Your parts are looking a little bit dodgier. And we can basically repair you almost for free. It's gonna cost us 0.4 seconds. We could give you 1 more lap of fuel just because of that. Because it doesn't really... yeah, it doesn't change our pit stop time by that much. Saves us half a second later on, let's say. That's okay. Okay. Yeah, I do want to start working on some parts. Just hopefully then he'll be able to run out. Because we're only going to have 2 more pit stops after this. If 3 parts break and we have to do 2 at the same time, that would suck a lot. I'm going to run you out on green because I don't want to hit the cliff. Would be just about perfect. Probably hit it just about as you're going in. And yeah, perfect. Okay. Good. Okay, let's hope no mistakes. Looking good. Looking good. Yeah, and these finished pretty much exactly at the same time, so that's very good. Alright, let's start burning your tire a little bit again. Alright. Looking good. Everyone ahead of us still needs to go into the pits. Front wing is looking way better. Very nice. Probably suspension will be next. I think that one is about 8 seconds, so we'll have to refuel a bit more. But anyway, we're going to refuel a lot because we're going to be using up most of our fuel in this stint. A lot of people coming in now. So far, we're not looking too great, but most people ahead of us still need to pit. So let's see where we get out after everyone else has pitted. Let's see how we do. Coming out ahead of a few people. I'll be running too aggressive. Again, I would love to run harder on these tires or on the fuel, but as you can see, we honestly just can't. Our heating obviously is atrocious, which is why these tires are going up so much, even at 24 degrees. But yeah, that's what we chose for. It did save us a lot of money down the line, so... Ooh, your front wing is scraping something. Okay, then for you, the front wing is going to be the next part that we go for. We could have repaired it earlier, but again, yeah, that would have cost us more time, and it was still looking good at the time. Unfortunately, now it seems to be going down quite a bit. We need to be doing 4 more laps. You should be fine, but let's start conserving your tire a little bit with you. 5 more should also be perfectly fine. And let's keep going. We overfueled to Lapano by 1 just because we're fixing a part anyway. That's why he's still on 6 when he should be on 5. Yeah, this is looking better now. Should be pretty much fine to run out on that. Everyone else is coming into the pits now finally. So provisionally we are in 6th actually with Fahovsky. Problem is we are also running way more aggressively with our tires, of course. Some of these guys probably are going to do a 2-stopper. Which is where they'll win out on us. The guys doing these soft runs are probably, unless they refueled very awkwardly, are probably doing a lot better than us. But all we're trying to do is get some points on the board. Top 6 guarantees some points, so that's what we're aiming for. And hopefully we can do that. Really need to bring you down a little bit in terms of temperature. You should be fine to run out 2 more laps with your fuel and also with your tire, but keep it near there. Let's see when we cross the finish if we need to go back to green. Should be okay, but let's run you for a little while on green just to be sure. Same for you, to be honest. You're cutting it close, so we're gonna keep you on green because we really want to do 2 more laps with you. Alright, we're gonna be bringing you into the pits now. 1 more on super softs, and probably the last one has to be on softs. Yeah, that'll just have to be like that. We'll do 9 laps worth of fuel probably. What part does need fixing? You, obviously. And hopefully one of these 2 will be able to hold out till the end of the race, because the other will get fixed. Or this one, I'm not sure. We'll have to see whichever one breaks first. Hopefully none of them break, obviously, but yeah. We could overfuel a bit now and then fix them, but that leaves the risk that anyway they're gonna break again. These are also the parts taking quite a lot of time to fix, to be honest, so yeah, we're just gonna have to go for this one and hopefully none of these break. That's the strategy now. We're going for 9 laps worth of fuel. That's fine, because we can really only make about 8 laps work with these guys. See where we get. We're in 5th now provisionally, actually. Nice. Oh yeah, because Monroe already went for his 2nd pit stop. That makes a lot of sense. You can probably go back to yellow now. And you're coming in just about right. A few % off. We could have taken him back a little earlier, but that's okay. No mistakes so far. Repairing is going well. Refueling is going well. And we're out again. Perfect. You might need to go back again a little bit for the last bit. And let's get you set up for your pit stop before we forget. Probably do the same. Give you 9 laps worth of fuel. Which part do we fix? Probably the brakes. It's looking the shadiest, let's say. I guess we do the brakes. And then we have 1 more left over for one of these. We'll have to see. That means we can also sort of give you another lap of fuel again for free. That might mean that we run Lapano a bit more aggressive, because he does have the engine life for it. You have a bit less. Both of you might start burning your engine more aggressively, but not just yet, let's say. You're cutting your last corner. Put you back to yellow then. Alright, nice. Should be just about perfect. There you go, back into the pits. And we haven't really seen many people have to go for expensive parts repairs yet. Hopefully their last stint that will happen, but so far the AI doesn't seem to really have to do that yet this race. But we'll see. Hopefully it'll start happening at some point. I'm not sure. I don't think many of these people are going to be able to run out the race. The guys on softs... No, I don't see that happening, because you need to do 15 more laps. I just don't think that's going to happen. Oh boy, your suspension is feeling dodgy. Your front wing is also not very good. This is where it starts getting tricky, because all of these parts are, of course, waning down now. But yeah, the main thing we wanted to avoid was, of course, the gearbox and the engine, and that's what so far we've been able to do, at least for a bit. You have a bit of extra engine life, so let's start trying to push you a little bit with your fuel. Because we gave you a little bit more than necessary. We're gonna do 5 more laps with Fahovsky. And probably, like I said, last lap will be most likely a set of softs. Because we just can't make another super soft work, I don't think. 5 laps, that should be just about fine. Maybe start bringing your tire down a little bit. 14 laps remaining, another person comes in. Theoretically, Zarate could run out the race on 14. You do get enough fuel for it, but that does mean he can't burn any fuel aggressively, and the AI normally does do that, so... Oh no, he's going for another set of super softs. That means he's definitely doing another pit stop. Okay, interesting. Provisionally, we are in something like 6th, so I think. With all these people still needing to pit, but it does depend also what they're gonna do. They are getting now very much in territory of doing only 1 more stop. Which means we are just behind them and we'll probably stay behind them, most likely. Let's bring you back a little bit as well and count when we're across the finish line. How long we still need to go for. But yeah, as you can see, some people are now also doing part repairs. That should be good for us. You're gonna do 3 more laps. You should be fine then to go back on yellow for a little bit. You need to do 4 more laps. How's your engine holding up? 59%, that's fine. Then we're gonna run you on aggressive a little while longer. Make you just be a little bit quicker as well. And there you go. Brake seems quite spongy and a couple of, yeah, both your parts, I know. We're just gonna have to gamble, to be honest. We're gonna have to do 1 more full stint. We can fix 1 or 2 parts if we really have to. But obviously we don't want to. If we don't need to. Yeah, we're gonna see what happens. You're gonna do 2 more laps. Bring you back a little bit again. He was looking fine for both. You probably need to go back to high now. You're gonna do 3 more. Yeah. Okay. Tire wear is not helping your lap time. Some more. Oh, that is rain. I didn't even notice that. Oh, okay. Alright, one of you needs to come in basically right now. We can make it work with the fuel, we'll just refuel hard. That means we can also probably do 2 part fixes. I have not been looking at the rain at all, it seemed so sunny. That was completely fine, but it looks like we can't run out on inters for the rest of the lap. Probably bring you in now and do Tulipano immediately after. We could do 1 more lap. And theoretically that should be possible if I'm looking at the water times. Maybe we'll do 1 more lap. We'll do 1 more lap and then we'll be able to run out a little bit more aggressively on the other stuff. And then we'll also be able to refuel for longer, meaning we can fix more parts. It should still be fine with the level of water on the track right now. Might cost Tulipano a little bit, but I'm fine with that. Yeah, so we're gonna go to intermediates. We should be able to run out easily on the remaining lap times. We need about at least 11, let's say 12, if we're going to run our engine a little bit more aggressively of fuel. This needs fixing. Oh boy, yeah. None of this we can realistically fix for cheap, even with refueling a lot. I think we're going to have to just risk it on these parts. They're all looking not great, but okay. This one obviously needs some fixing, and it's pretty much for free with the amount that we're refueling. It'll have to be like this. Yeah, we're just gonna do it this way. Okay, lots of people are already going to the inters. That makes perfect sense. You're coming in now. Tulipano is getting a bit of an awkward one because he's gonna stay out kind of 1 lap too long. But that's okay. Lots of people doing part fixes. I know you want to be on inters. We could have done 1 lap earlier, to be honest, with the amount of... But I think you should be fine. It's not ideal, but you should be okay. Now we're going to bring you in as well for the intermediates. Yeah, wets are definitely not the right choice. You don't need too much. Let's say we give you this much. Ooh boy. We can do 1 of these. We could do both of these, but we need to. let's say we're gonna do 9 more laps, so yeah, already at 11 we kind of have enough fuel even if we do red, almost. Really don't want to cost you that many seconds. I feel like we might just risk it. Yeah, I think we're gonna risk it. We're gonna play very, very aggressively this way, but I think it is the right choice. Let's see. Yeah, obviously Volsky is having a very long pit stop, but that is perfectly fine. Engine is looking okay, so don't mind burning your fuel a little bit more aggressively. Don't want to mess up the tire too much if we don't have to. Filipano, yeah, you're coming in. Your tire should be able to go back to neutral now. We could have done that a little bit earlier. Obviously he's getting slower now, but it was only for a little while, to be honest, that he was getting much slower. Yeah, your parts are not looking healthy at all. I know. I'm just risking it, but I don't want to burn the fuel too much. I don't remember if these impact any other parts, but I would really like them to not impact other parts. Did something just get much worse while we fixed another part? This front wing wasn't looking that bad. I guess I could have waited a little bit longer, but that's gonna break any second, basically. Your parts are also looking very bad. Did I not? Yeah, we repaired the suspension. We didn't repair the front wing. I guess we could have in hindsight. I didn't know it would go down that much. I'm really hoping at least Volhovsky can finish this race. It's not looking likely that Filipano finishes it, to be honest, unless I bring him in, but we really need top 6 spots. Anything else honestly doesn't matter at all. We need a point, so we're just gonna gamble it. I know that's crazy with 8 laps to go, but I think we have to. 7 laps remaining, should be fine on the tires, should be fine on the fuel. I don't want to run red just in case that it affects parts. If you know that, if you know if it does, please let me know. I know it affects the engine. I don't think it impacts other parts, but at this point I'm too scared to gamble on that. So let's run it out. This was our last stop, so we did what we could. We put our drivers and cars in the best position we thought we could. Front wing, I know. We have 5 laps remaining, or 6, I think. If it gets too bad, if it gets to like 1%, I'll bring him in on him, but I would really like not to. Because he actually has a chance of also catching a few points if any of these guys hits or has to come out or whatever else. I don't think they have to, but in case it does happen, it would be good for us. We are quite far ahead of with Volhovsky at least, so he should be able to run out the race as long as his parts don't blow up. If we're gonna go for broke anyway, we might honestly just... we might as well try. You know? He has fresher tires, he has fresher engine. He has more fuel, so... let's try and get fixed with Tulipano, and we just gamble everything on him. If he breaks, he breaks. Meanwhile, Volhovsky should be able to get 4th for us, I think. I really hope. Don't break. He's still at 19%. Some of your parts are going to break very soon as well. Maybe in hindsight we could have focused a little bit less on the gear. Oh, no. Something just went horribly wrong for you. Everything just took a huge dumpster dive. 2 parts just exploded. Yeah, there's only 2 laps left. We have to just try. I'm sorry, boys. You're just gonna have to try. It's horrible. I don't know what happened there because both of these were at like 30%. They just shot down. I think we got very unlucky there with whatever engine or method of calculation the game uses. But yeah, with 2 laps remaining, we obviously can't bring him in. He's just gonna have to try. Yeah, I don't know. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Let's push both your tires a little bit. You are very close to 6, but I don't think you're gonna make it. But let's try. Screw it. Don't retire in the last lap, please. Don't retire. Don't retire. Don't retire. Please. And get 6th, please. Nah, he's not gonna get 6th. But I will take 4th. I would not be unhappy with 4th at all. The AI seems to have been a bit smarter this time at least. Everyone ran out on inters. Not too many pit stops unnecessarily. Big shame that Tulipano wasn't able to get to top 6. But honestly, I'm just astounded that both of them were able to finish out their races with the car conditions as they look like. Especially that front wing is carrying us hard because that has been broken for like 7 laps now. Could have gone a lot worse. They really gave us a scare here with Vovsky's gearbox and back wing going down as much as they did at the end there. I think we'll get something like 3-4 points for Vovsky's finish, maybe even 2 only, but I'll take any points we can get. This is very important for us surviving basically the season and not getting dead last. We could have maybe gone for 1 earlier pit stop. Maybe that could have cost or gained us a little bit of seconds. Maybe if Tulipano could have gotten a point. But honestly, that was not bad at all. That was a good finish. We got some points. That was our main goal. We didn't get our sponsor objective, just about, but we were very close. So I feel like I was justified in trying to pick it at least. 3 points, not too bad. Would have loved to try and go for 6 or more, but 3 is good enough. Alright, that puts us in 3rd right now. Yeah, as you can see, no one else is getting points because of this weird system where only the top 6 gets points. That's why it's so important, because probably some of these teams will not be getting any points whatsoever this season. And those are the teams you want to stay ahead of. I don't mind if we get 9th. I don't mind if we get 8th or 7th or 6th. I just don't want to get 10th because then we drop down. We got 3rd overall. Very nice. Probably everyone should be pretty happy with how we ran this race. And, yeah, not too bad at all. All right. Yeah, we barely made any money. That's also why I want to keep our balance healthy the way it is right now, because we're going to be spending a lot of money on parts. It means we're not going to be getting a lot from races. We'll be purely relying on sponsorships and upfront payments and whatever else. Of course, we also didn't pick this sponsor. I'm still not going to pick it. I think we chose a good strategy, and we'll get some from this as well. So that's nice. All right, not a bad first race. Hope you're going to enjoy season 4. So far, I am. It's fun to race with some new set of rules. If you have any tips for me in the Asia Pacific Supercup, let me know below. And for now, I just want to thank you very much for watching. As always, thanks for the support, and I'll see you in the next one.